Armenia. Bahrain. Cyprus. Georgia. Lebanon. Palestine. Sudan. United Arab Emirates. The Hashemite Kingdom of Jordan.
والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين وخاتم النبيين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Rotary International President's Representative, Director-elect Danielle Tennessee and Marlena. Rotary International Director nominee Christina Buring. District Governor Bashar Haddad. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, welcome and good evening. It is an honor for me to be with you here tonight in the 11th Rotary District Conference in Amman, and welcome to our most beloved Jordan. Ahla wa sahla fikum. I'm delighted to address you tonight on a topic that is very close to my heart. But even more importantly, it is absolutely crucial for our collective, harmonious and thriving future, of which the conference theme has a very eloquently coined it, Think Green and Live Green. Each and every one of us can and must truly embody the role of environmental stewardship, regardless of what sector they are in. The possibilities are endless and the opportunities bountiful, be it on the industrial or even the individual scale. Thus, as we, the environmentalists or conservationists, and even politicians, have set the global agenda for a sustainable, resilient future by declaring 2020 to 2030 the decade of restoration, which, by the way, we only have 6 years left, and embody the hashtag Generation Restoration. We must be cognizant of the urgency of the situation, most especially under the throes of climate change. It is our collective responsibility as global citizens to work cohesively to turn the tide. You, as Rotarians, are a combined pool of diverse community, representing a multitude of sectors with an immense reach that shares one very noble value, and that is service above self. Yet, in this year's theme, Think Green, Live Green, you will be going even beyond that motto, because every single human being on Earth will be affected by your very actions, no matter how small these activities may be. Thus, we all play a critical role in this agenda, and by utilizing nature-based solutions, it helps build resilience, allowing for a tremendous potential in the adaptation and mitigation of climate change, and believe it or not, it's actually the most cost-effective way. I would like to very briefly share with you my experience of how I turned my dream of having a botanic garden in Jordan into a global center of excellence that addresses the very core of the theme, Think Green, Live Green. Through the establishment of the Royal Botanic Garden in Jordan, and here, if you allow me to digress just for a minute, I would like to recognize my dear friend Hania, today's MC, who was the director of the Royal Botanic Garden when we first established it way back in the early 2000s. So thank you. I first thought of establishing the Royal Botanic Garden of Jordan as a means to learn more about our flora, all while conserving it for future generations, but just as importantly, to celebrate this natural heritage. Today, the RBG Jordan has secured the rights of Jordan to our genetic resources from biopiracy through our scientific work, which includes the only seed and gene bank dedicated to Jordan's native species. We have assessed the status of our plants, our entire flora, and saving many plants from extinction. We have also discovered new plants to science. In addition, I'm very excited and proud to share that RBG is the first and only hub for ecological restoration in arid landscapes globally. We assess and monitor projects across the region and beyond. All our programs have enabled us to achieve over 14 of the 17 Sustainable Development Goals through its various programs. We did this by redefining the role of botanic gardens for the future. You may ask, what does this really mean? Well, allow me to share. One example that is the community-based rangeland restoration program, where we work with herding communities neighboring the RBG site at Tel Roman. Since we took the lands they used to graze on, we had to stop the grazing to allow for the land to recover for at least 3 years, but we also recognized their grazing rights. So we developed the restoration program where we worked together with them as partners. So So it's a win-win for all. We started with 5 families, teaching them herd and business management. Today, 100% of that community has voluntarily opted to be part of this program when they saw the economic success of the original 5 families. In addition, this program was replicated in other parts of Jordan and with the IUCN, the International Union for Conservation of Nature, implemented in Egypt and elsewhere in the region as a joint endeavor under the name of Al Hima system. But for me, my most prominent outcome is the marked decrease in the incidence of animal-to-human disease in that community. Increased income for them, which facilitated them to send their children to school as opposed to having them work. And finally, it increased the biomass and biodiversity of the land by 30%, meaning the fodder production of that land increased from 20 tons per year to 150 tons over that period. So that is really a project that fosters hope through and through, as you said, President. The reason I share this, with you is to demonstrate how nature-based solutions are intricately entwined with business and thriving livelihoods, hence completely exemplifying the notion that think green and live green is actually doable and easy. Thus, the theme can be implemented in many disciplines, and it's the flexibility and the malleability which stems from the underlying value attached to the persons, or should I say here, Rotarians, rationale, be it its historical fidelity, modernist, regulatory, pragmatic, eco-centric, or even the value of moral restitution and everything in between. There is not one single method to personify think green, live green, because what may work in one area may not do so in another. We must diversify our approach to ensure a higher rate of success, which is the strength in you Rotarians. Hence, a mosaic of various methodologies to becoming green would be more viable and feasible. I would like to briefly put things in perspective as to our state of a green world. It has been estimated that of the global forests, 30% have been cleared and another 20% have been degraded. Accordingly, in the last conference of the parties, the leaders of over 100 countries, which actually have over 85% of forests cover, have promised to stop deforestation. Given that the Glasgow Declaration is not legally binding, it requires a truly dedicated political will to self-police and to develop policy measures and mobilize the required financial support, in addition to engaging all stakeholders, of which you yourselves are represented, and most notably Indigenous peoples and local communities. For they possess the traditional knowledge and are the custodians of the ecosystems, coupled with the scientific experts who can monitor and assess the progress and adjust accordingly, as it is a very dynamic process. So there are opportunities for you to capture in this realm. Furthermore, we must acknowledge the impact healthy functioning forests have on food security. For example, in Western Asia, our area, an area not usually associated with forests, yet is benefiting from several ecosystem services for its forest and woodlands. Firstly, provisioning, as it sits in the Fertile Crescent, containing economically important plants and are blessed with a high number of crop wild relatives, to name a few: wheat, rye, barley, apricot, which I know in Armenia you use it to produce the wood, the duduk, if I'm not mistaken, pear, apple, pistachio, walnut, chestnut, almond, and our most beloved and blessed olive tree. In addition to grazing, which also falls into the cultural service, as the pastoral life is a very important part of our cultural heritage. But to put things even more into perspective, the regulating service which our forests and woodlands provide are unequivocally critical, affording land stabilization and watershed protection and desertification control, because nearly 75% of the area is arid and hyper-arid, and it is part of the globe which is most affected by climate change. The Near East and North Africa has witnessed a decline in its per capita availability of renewable water resources by nearly 75%, from 2,681 meters cubed to 686 cubic meters between 1962 and 2017, with an estimated projection to decline even further to 448 cubic meters in 2030, which is in 6 years, the very 6 years left for achieving our decade of restoration, and a further 429 cubic meters in 2050. This must prompt us to push towards transforming agriculture and food systems into sustainable supply chains, ultimately having green pathways to growth within a long-term perspective. So you can imagine how important the theme of your conference is to our world today. Lastly, we must be very wary not to rely solely on restoration as a go-to band-aid mechanism, or rather, a crutch to placate our half-hearted commitment to our children's future. On the contrary, it is imperative that we diligently work towards a true application of Think Green and Live Green, as much as it is crucial that we understand the urgency of the matter. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, we do not have the luxury of time, but what we do have is an opportunity to make the change. In today's 11th Rotary District Conference, Think Green and Live Green, I urge each and every one of you to consider what kind of world will you be leaving to your children and grandchildren. We have seen and lived through many severe weather anomalies, and each year the boundaries of what is considered extreme gets pushed further and further. It is real and it is very fierce. Accordingly, it is our duty as stewards of the earth to ensure we hand over a thriving earth with a functioning ecosystems that can support our children's children's children. And what more precious a gift can we give them than this? I wish you a very dynamic and fruitful conference, and thank you very much.
أنا اسمي بشار حداد، محافظ المنطقة الروترية 2452 اللي بتضم الأردن وفلسطين والسودان والبحرين والإمارات ولبنان وجورجيا وأرمينيا وقبرص. احنا موجودين اليوم بفعالية المؤتمر روتري لهاي المنطقة. تركيز المؤتمر على البيئة ومعالجة المشاكل البيئية الموجودة في مجتمعاتنا. روتريين موجودين من أنحاء المنطقة كلها، عم نجتمع مع بعض اليوم نحاول نحط أفكار لحماية البيئة وحماية المجتمع اللي احنا عايشين فيه، عشان نعمل مشاريع أكثر مستدامة للجميع وللمجتمع الداخلي. شكرا.
اوكي تفضل.
مرحبا،
الاسم الكريم.
أنا غادة الفانك، أنا رئيس القادم لروتري عمان كوزموبوليتان لسنة 2024-25. بنبدأ من 1 جولاي. اليوم إحنا عندنا مناسبة مهمة، مؤتمر ديستريكت 2452 للروتري الدولي، وراح يكون هذا الديستريكت بضم 12 بلد. واليوم احنا فخورين انه يكون هذا المؤتمر موجود بعمان. بتهيألي اللي موجودين حوالي 200 شخص من حوالي 12 أو 13 بلد.
شو نتوقع من هذا المؤتمر؟
المؤتمر هو التيم تبعه جرين، خضار، يعنى بالبيئة، ولسه ما بلشنا، هلا بنبلش بيبدا المؤتمر.
شكرا لك.
أهلا فيك.
Please tell us about your names. Your name.
Okay. Good afternoon or good morning, depending where you are. My name is Christina Kovotsu-Patroklu, and I am past district governor of District 2452. I served during the year 2017-18.
Can you tell us about the conference today?
Well, we are today hosted at the district conference of District Governor Bashar Haddad here in Jordan, in Amman, and it is a very exciting event. We have been through a lot this year in our district, and we're very happy to see each other in a pleasant and very well organized conference. People should get some lessons from the conference we are attending now.
It's the first time in Jordan?
No, I've been here about 10 times, and I love Jordan. I love my friends in Rotary. I have very long ties since my time when I was a Rotary actor with friends that I'm going to have coffee on Sunday, and I see them every 2 years. It's a friendship that stops when we go apart and starts again where it left off.
Thank you very much. Okay, good.
Ja, guten Tag. Ich freue mich, hier in Amman zu sein, bei der Distriktkonferenz des Rotarischen Distrikts 2452. Ich komme als Gast aus Deutschland. Ich habe diesen Distrikt schon letztes Jahr in Beirut besucht und vor 2 Jahren in Armenien. Ich bin sehr beeindruckt von dem, was Rotary in dem Zusammenschluss dieser Länder alles bewerkstelligt, zustande bringt, und ich bin selbst beteiligt in einigen Projekten in diesem Distrikt. So war ich mit meinem deutschen Club aktiv im Libanon, in Zypern und jetzt mit einem Projekt in Jordanien, hier in Amman.
Sind Sie das erste Mal in Jordanien?
Ich bin zum ersten Mal in Jordanien. Wir waren heute Morgen zu einem kleinen Trip zur Schnellerschule, Theodor Schnellerschule.
Meer? Waren Sie in Totenmeer?
Nein, noch nicht, aber wir gehen dorthin. In der Postkonferenztour werden wir noch viele schöne Orte von Jordanien sehen, unter anderem das Tote Meer und Petra, of course, yes, natürlich.
Aber sind Sie das erste Mal in Jordanien?
Ich bin zum ersten Mal in Jordanien. Ich habe viel gelesen. Ich habe Freunde, die schon hier waren, und bin froh, dass ich endlich selbst nach Jordanien komme.
Vielen Dank. Dankeschön.
Like I said previously, Rotarians coming together is always making magic. So I'm here to also listen to what the other clubs do, for us to exchange ideas and for us to be able to implement a few of those great ideas back in Dubai.
This is the first time you are in Jordan?
This is my second time in Jordan. The previous time I enjoyed the Jordanian hospitality was the previous time at the Dead Sea.
How do you like Jordan? Very good, yes?
I like Jordan amazing, and the Jordanians are even better.
This is the first time. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Ja,